They'll tell you you're invisible because you're not handsome, not tall, or not rich enough. But all that's a lie to keep you stuck. The truth is, you're invisible in life because you're completely forgettable. And it happens for one specific reason nobody's talking about. It starts the second you wake up. You reach for your phone before your feet even hit the floor, trading your life for cheap dopamine loops and endless novelty hits. Your distractions running on autopilot as social media replaces your real life. No deep conversations, just likes, reactions, and surface level connection. And here's the quiet confession. It's already in motion. You feel the hollowness, the lack of drive, and the way your presence doesn't hit the same way anymore. Or honestly, maybe it never did. Every scroll is another piece handed over to your favorite influencers. And over time, you stop thinking for yourself. You lose touch with the things that made you stand out. Deep down, you know the truth. You want to lead your own story, but you're currently living as background filler in everyone else's speed. But the biggest thing nobody told you is this. You don't have to stay a forgotten character forever. The men who are beloved and admired aren't born that way. They were carefully crafted layer by layer. Not a copy, but a true original. And it happens with these 3 simple pillars you can implement right now. Master them, and you unlock something rare. The kind of effortless power that makes every room you enter shift, turning casual glances into long-lasting love and respect. Pulling high-interest people into your orbit without ever having to chase becomes a norm for you. Women stop scanning past you. They lean in, listen deeper, move closer out of curiosity, not being able to put a finger on why they're so attracted. Men don't just notice you. Some seek you out, want to understand what sets you apart while others might even envy you from afar. No gimmicks, no cheesy pickup lines you have to memorize. Only timeless principles you can apply in any era and any situation. From Cillian Murphy's charm as he gains admiration from the audience, to Marcus Aurelius' powerful leadership, influencing nations to follow his command without question, both using what I'm about to share with you right now. There are 3 forces at work here. Most men have none of them, some men have 1 or 2, but the ones who are unforgettable have all 3 working in unison. So if you're ready, let's begin with pillar number 1. People misunderstand presence. Most men think they have it, but they're constantly leaking energy. They chase attention from women, flash status, try to impress others, and they still get passed over. It's not looks or likes that pull people in. True aura is just emotional autonomy. It's the man who doesn't flinch when a dynamic shifts. The one who doesn't justify himself, doesn't plead, and doesn't overreact when the temperature of the room drops. Your energy speaks first, before your status, before your words, and before your charm. I was at dinner once with some friends. One of the guys of the group threw out a hot take. Instead of having the courage to give their real opinions, everyone immediately scanned the room to see how others would react before committing to an answer. I watched them play human Tetris with their opinions, twisting and turning just to fit in. I didn't play. I stayed grounded. I said what I actually believed in. No apology, no checking in if I passed a vibe check. Eventually, the table realigned and became more comfortable because of it. Most of them agreed, but all of them respected the fact that I wasn't trying to chase approval. That is gravity and presence. Picture a room where a conversation turns hostile. The guy who instantly reacts, raises his voice, and defends himself, he lowers himself. He is letting the room control him. The one who simply leans back and doesn't feel the need to chase, he commands his space without saying a word. When you no longer need attention, people give it freely. Stop performing in front of others for approval. Act from self-trust. That is unapologetic presence. But presence and aura alone gets them to stop, not to stay and admire. Without connection, people notice you but don't stick around for long. That is what our next pillar will cover, the mirror effect. And trust me, it's not what you expect. But before we go in, if this breakdown is resonating with you, leaving a like helps to reach other men who might be in the same exact spot as you. I'd also like to hear from you in the comments. When was the last time you felt truly seen by someone? Or the exact opposite? When did you feel completely invisible? And if you want to keep unpacking this stuff together, hit subscribe. Now, let's get back into the mirror effect. When most guys hear mirroring, they think of cheap psychology, mimicking someone's body language or repeating their words to manipulate a conversation. That is a gimmick. It's a performance, and people can feel it. True pull doesn't require a script. And honestly, there's no single way to be magnetic. You can be the quiet stoic, the mysterious guy, or even the conversationalist making friends with everyone. But every archetype shares the same foundation, a deep understanding of who they are internally. Baseline social skills are just a skeleton. You fill in the grooves with your own unique personality. We all say we want to blend in, but the men we actually admire wear their uniqueness like a badge of honor. Admiration from others always starts with admiring yourself first. Once that foundation is set, you unlock the actual mechanisms of charm. Charm isn't about feeling impressive. It's about making someone who admires you feel significant. The truth is, we all have a burning desire to be seen, heard, and understood. Think about it this way. Picture the guy at a dinner table or in a meeting who gets cut off while telling a story. He shrinks back into his chair. In that moment, he feels completely invisible. The charismatic man doesn't try to out-yell the interruption. He simply locks eyes with the guy who got cut off and says, "Hey, finish what you were saying." Or you can think about it this way. On a date, instead of talking about yourself, ask something that cuts deeper. When's the last time you did something for yourself that was outside your comfort zone? Then listen. Watch her posture shift, her eyes lighten up. She feels like the stage light is on her now. In that 3-second window, you aren't mimicking them. You are fulfilling a fundamental human need, making them feel like the only person in the room without ever having to pedestalize them. Master these first 2 pillars and people start noticing the shift. But stop here and you'll stay the entertaining guy. Liked, maybe even admired, but never at that unforgettable level. The 3rd pillar turns attention into real long-lasting impact. If you want to be respected and remembered, you need one thing, a purposeful mission, or something I call You can have presence, you can have charm, you can have status, but without direction, the world will move on without you. Direction is oxygen. Without it, you drift through life with no purpose. You can have all the toys, but over time, it all becomes background noise. Most men are scattered. A little gym, a little side hustle, some self-improvement content. They dabble. They sample life. They never master anything, and it shows. Few are actually possessed. Purpose isn't found. You don't wait for a sign, you build one. For me, it started with creating my YouTube channel and studying film and storytelling. Not casually, but obsessively. Rewatching scenes, breaking down different characters, writing when nobody else understood it except myself. I saw the vision and I stuck with it. Not because it was trendy, but because I couldn't ignore it. That's the difference. The thing you do every day, even if nobody saw it, that's your calling. Look at 2 men at the same table. One is mindlessly swiping through his feed, eyes glazed over, just waiting for the day to end. The other is staring straight through his work, entirely consumed by one singular violent focus. You don't even know what he's building, but you respect him instantly. That is direction. Your mission sharpens you. When people are around those who are chasing their purpose, they feel it and never forget you. That makes you harder to replace. When you're locked into your craft, you carry something deeper than the average person, something uniquely yours. Presence plus charm without obsession, it's just personality. But presence and charm with obsession, that's where true legends and icons are made. Dabble and you'll stay replaceable. Commit to something and people will feel that edge without ever having to perform. Remember, the world rewards those you can't replace. Not your money, your followers, or how many likes you got on IG. In a world full of noise and NPCs, real depth and character becomes impossible to ignore. I have a challenge for you. One real conversation, 1 hour in your craft. Do that every day and you won't just be seen, you'll be remembered. Test it tomorrow. Skip the scroll session and spend 30 minutes on one skill you're obsessed with. But finding your depth is only the first step. Right now, society is actively pushing men into 2 very specific broken identities, both of which guarantee a collapse. To see which trap you might already be falling into and how to avoid it, you can watch this video next.